we should do a watch along of Dan Cohen's documentary. I heard it was awesome. Shanda was telling me about that. Fam, go right ahead if you want to talk about it. Let's go dive right into it.
All right, so let's. Oh yeah, this stupid thing.
Would you like me to read that for you?
Yeah, because it blocks it on here.
The U.S. is almost certainly involved in the assassination of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse, and let's not forget that Jovenel was not really like he was kind of the U.S. puppet type of president, and then all of a sudden he had a little interest doing some other things, talking maybe to the oligarchs in his area. You know what I'm saying? And maybe, I don't know. I heard there was rumors about alternative medicines when it came to COVID. I don't know, but he was definitely let go in a very harsh way. Today, U.S. politicians show zero interest in solving it, but now they are calling for humanitarian intervention, fam. Fam, it's humanitarian intervention in Haiti to stop gangs. Says everything about who the real gangsters are, which I'm sure there are gangsters there, but I bet more than anything, the major gang we got to worry about is the
So
West.
I do want to read. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure, but again, how many times has the U.S. interfered in Haiti, and would Haiti be in the position it is now if the U.S. didn't interfere and would allow them to have their sovereign right? So, Univision, right? Literally, NBC propaganda was said, "Is there a U.S. intelligence agency linked to the assassination of Haiti's president?" And it said the government says evidence in the court case of a Colombian accused of participating in the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse involves classified information, but it's unclear what is the link to U.S. intelligence agencies. But in the next slide that Dan put up, it said, in a court filing, the prosecutor asked the judge to appoint a classified information security officer in its case against Mario Palacios, a former Colombian soldier. Remember this guy who was arrested after the assassination when this happened. And then the request was granted, and it confirmed suspicions regarding some still unclear link between the assassination of President Moise and the actions of the U.S. government intelligence agents or informants. The court documents do not explain in detail why the protective measure is necessary or what kind of evidence it may refer to. The government is pretty much telegraphing CIA involvement, said Mike Vigil, the former head of the operations for the DEA in the Caribbean. The government is pretty much telegraphing CIA involvement. There you go. The CIA was involved, guys. They've been involved in Haiti for a long time. So
no, fam, we don't know that. Somebody said the picture of the thumbnail was them. They were bringing in supplies. You don't know what you're talking about. They're helping the Haitians. What would the Haitians do, fam, without us?
Huh? You know what? When we do it, it's humanitarian intervention, right? But when Russia is asked by the Donbass to come in and save them, help them, literally, because they've been bombed for almost 9 years now and shelled, and they've had to live in basements, and their whole life has been constant threats of bombing and death. When Russia does it and actually intervenes to say, hey, also we have NATO on our border, and then Sweden and Finland are about to join and also put NATO on our border. So you know what? We're going to go in, and you broke all these treaties. When Russia, it waits almost 9 years to come in. It is an invasion, and it is war, and Putin is evil, and he wants to be like Hitler and take over the entirety of Europe. But when the United States does it, it's humanitarian intervention. And by the way, if it was humanitarian intervention, I think people would be more accepting of it. If it was actually help, hey, here, let us help you out, and we're just going to stay over here. We're going to that doesn't happen, as you know that. So this is why I get so irritated when people try to both sides and equate the United States with every other single country that has been under either its boot or has been maligned or attacked for the longest time. I don't believe that any other country is an empire, and I don't believe that any country is perfect, or that any of these leaders are perfect angels. I don't think any of us have on this show have ever said that. But
no, not at all.
What I do believe is that they're responding to
reaction.
this. And you have to respond if you want to defend your people. If you're just going to stand by and let whatever happen because you say I'm pro-peace, well, to me, that means in a way you're leading up for a bigger problem. Because if we just stand back and say, oh, we're going to allow NATO to do whatever it wants, okay, we'll see how that goes for you. But I'm not the kind of person to stand by and let people that I care about be attacked. So if I were the leader of a country, I would respond as well. And that doesn't make me a war criminal. That makes me the opposite. I'm defending the sovereign right of my country and my people.
It doesn't make
just for the record.
It doesn't make you a state propagandist either and stuff. And at the end of the day, it's like we said, it's who's the ultimate aggressor. At the end of the day, who is reacting to the actions, the initial actions. That's as simply as it goes. And when you want to do good journalism and you want to be in a spot where the action is at, that doesn't mean you're selling yourself out to work for a state agent. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has ever, and this is the thing we've been talking with this whole fucking week when people have been accusing Fiorella of being a state propagandist because of who she chose, when she chose it, and stuff like that. Nobody's ever put anybody in this company in a position. They wouldn't let, if they wanted a true propagandist, okay, they wouldn't allow us to do this show right here and say what we want when we want. They would have a complete controlled voice. It's just stupid. And when a journalist wants to go to an area where they believe they need to be the actions at, hooray for that journalism. Because that's what we need. We need on-the-ground journalism. The biggest difference between what we see in the West and what we see in RT is that RT, even though it is in their backyard, they're there. We're getting actual stuff, the information that's coming from the ground, not from a studio in D.C. or Atlanta. Fucking chalk it up any way you want. It's a sorry, sad excuse. Fam, Ajamu should have ran for, should have been the freaking Green Party nominee last time other than Howie Hawkins. I love this guy sometimes. Most of the time I like him. Every once in a while he'll say something. I'm like, I don't know about that one, Ajamu. But for the most part, he is spot on. I wish we got a chance to meet him when he was in Colombia. When we were in Colombia, we need everyone to tweet out in opposition to the UN invasion of Haiti. Stop the UN invasion of Haiti. The UN must stop being a puppet of Western powers, Russia and China. If you abstain on this, like you did on Libya, you will be called out.
So this is an important point. This is where I'm going to criticize both China and Russia. Abstaining is not acceptable. I thought, I was kind of not upset, but I was kind of like, damn. I mean, in certain cases, abstaining it shows that you're just being strategic about something, and abstaining can mean that you're like, okay, you're saying no. You're saying no, but you're not saying it. It's kind of like you can have your cake and eat it too. But in this case, with what's being done to China and Russia by the UN, by the United States and NATO, they shouldn't abstain. They should absolutely be on board. And I think they should be rightfully criticized, as Ajamu said, if they do abstain. I mean, to me, it's just ridiculous at this point. Why would you abstain? You have nothing to lose. I mean, the UN, I think, gets way more respect than it deserves from leaders, even political leaders in Russia. And because it's supposed to be this, non-biased source, right? This non-biased, like, United Nations organization, right? It's supposed to be an organization that's respectable. But I don't trust the UN, and I don't trust anybody affiliated with the UN. And the reason is because they tend to do whatever the hell the West wants them to do. And that is very clear. So there's no reason for Russia and China to abstain or not really stand with Haiti on this ever, like at all.
Let me piggyback on that for a second too as well. We have Jama's comment up there too as well. They shouldn't, and they should be called out if they do it. In Haiti, they were running around with Russian flags. I should probably find it and pull it up, but they were running around with Russian flags. And like Fiorella just said, what do you have to lose at this point? There's no reason of trying to, make goody ties with the West at all when they've got their thumb in your eye. You might as well put your thumb in their eye. And you have an opportunity right now when you have a say-so to call out the imperialism as you see fit. It can't be just calling out imperialism when it's in your backyard. You got to call it consistently across the board. So this is a good opportunity, I think, for both China and Russia to shine in this moment and say, no, they should give Haiti their sovereignty. The United States is involved. Somebody said it earlier in this chat over here. how many times has the U.S. Cooed Haiti? It's like they haven't stopped cooing Haiti. Every single time they've had a chance, they've cooed Haiti. So now, why not take the time and the opportunity, fam, to do just that and say, nope, this is Western Empire, the way it is, imperialism over here in our backyard. It's the same thing going on over here. Let these people have their sovereign right. And if I'm tempted to go to South Florida, talk to my Haitian friends, and say, let's put up a plan where we say that you just want the UN in there to hold fair and free elections, and that's it, and then get the hell out when they choose their leader, and have a whole plan to implement elections there. You know what I'm saying? They'll never get it, of course. They'll never let them have their sovereignty. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the United States, the West, is going to make sure that Haiti is Haiti. And I'm talking about the third world Haiti they got the boot on the neck of. They won't let them have their sovereignty. But at least it should be put out there on a plan to say this is what we want to do to move forward as a country. And Haitian people in South Florida should be able to say that. I know a lot of Haitian people in South Florida would be scared to say that. You know what I'm saying? At fear that they'll be deported back to Haiti and not have a chance to stay in the United States. But that's what should be done. Somebody should be putting forth a plan right now on how Haiti can obtain their sovereignty and their resource sovereignty too as well.
So I'm going to answer this question or this comment. I would avoid criticizing the periphery. They're doing what they can given the circumstances. Their lives are on the line. Yeah, I mean, a lot of Russian lives are on the line. But you know what? They're doing just fine. They're using a small fraction of the military. That is the military. That's the aspect of the military. The military is fine. I'm talking about the political aspect of this, the political, diplomatic bullshit that you have to deal with when you're in government. They need to stand with Haiti. There is no excuse on not doing it at this point. The United States wants to end both Russia and China. They have said it as much. It's not just the United States. They're the leaders of the pack. It's NATO. It's NATO allies. And the UN just does whatever they want. So if you want respect and if you want to demand, if stand with the people that are on your side, as Pasta mentioned, Haiti was carrying Russian flags. There is a unity that is happening in Africa with the Pan-African movement that is also similar to what's going on in parts of Latin America with Russia and China, because they're all nations that are looked on as standing up to Western hegemony, right? And so if you're going to be a part of that, then you need to, Haiti is a small country, it's half of an island, but that doesn't mean that they don't matter because they're so important. And we spoke about this with Dan, right? We had Dan on, we had our good friend Danny Shaw on, so you guys can check out those videos. Dan's video was last week. And he basically said, yeah, this is happening. This is going to happen. And of course, it is happening. And Haiti has been the example that the West has used to try to crush movements. They were the first revolution that happened in what was called then the West Indies, what is known as the Caribbean now. And they have used that to crush it because that revolution inspired other revolutions that happened in Latin America. So again, this is an important thing. And I think the weakness of some of the people in Russia and the people in the East is that they haven't been paying enough attention to the global South. And they've started to, as you can see with Lavrov going to Africa, rekindling that bond that happened during the Soviet Union. So the Soviet Union and Africa had long had a bond, but I think economic wise, that is growing further. So I do think they need to stand with the people of Haiti. I don't think there's an excuse.
Wasn't it that Hugo Chavez once said that he was giving the oil, a lot of the oil to Haiti because he was very thankful what Haiti did during the revolution, the Bolivarian Revolution. That's why he was one to share his oil and the wealth. I think he would mention something about that. So am I being correct on that?
No, I think you're correct on that. I think we discussed that not that long ago, actually.
I can't find the video. I went to Danny Shaw's.
I think I have it. I think I have it later on.
You can find it. Let me pull up the Belabushka picture, though, because this is a... Fam, who is this? This here.
Belabushka.
The babushka hat over here. Well, hold on.
You know, babushka is like an old lady, right?
Yeah, I know. But the Spies Like Us hat. What do you ever call that hat?
I got that jacket and actually, what are you doing?
I just took the comment off. This is your tweet, fam.
Okay, so U.S. priorities are invading Haiti while simultaneously pretending they care about women in Iran, because I'm really sick of this bullshit coming from people on the left on Iran, and freeing Ukraine from evil Russia. Even though they overthrew their democratically elected leader in 2014, guys, and this is why we're here, rather than addressing record inflation, shit, water, and debt at home. Guys, can you tell me what, I mean, Jackson, Mississippi, Flint, Michigan, and I don't know how many other cities don't have clean water. There was that video, fam. I don't know if you can pull it up. I think I shared it. If you go to my Twitter, there's this video of this guy going through LA, right? And he's going through the housing, the camps in LA. And he's like, this isn't America. This is like some third world country right here. And I have to really say that, to me, I'm really sick of hearing those comments, because we go to Latin America. We go to what is known as third world countries, right? Mm-hmm. What we call developing countries. And the reason these countries are developing, and the reason there's a lot of poverty in these countries, is because of US and Western intervention, and always has been. There's no way. You can't separate the two. And when people say, oh, this is like a third world country, no, honey, this is the United States. This is your country. This is your backyard. This is what your country is. This isn't just like some ugly part in LA. This is expanding everywhere. And by the way, to Republicans, the reason you don't have homelessness in a lot of these Republican states as much as you do in a lot of the Democratic states is because the Republicans make the law where homelessness is illegal, and they put spikes on benches, and they literally push people away from those states into the other states. So it's not because they're handling it that much better. It's because they literally don't allow people to be homeless in these states. So they push them to the liberal states. And that's what happens. So this is a national problem. Obviously, big cities have more of this homelessness. And just because somebody isn't homeless doesn't mean they're not poor. You can go to Mississippi, Louisiana, and see how people live there. You can go to these places in white rural America where people are living like it's like 40 years ago, and then tell me that this isn't a national problem, because it is. And there's a video, and you can see this is LA, guys. This is what this, I mean, I've lived there for 10 years. Pasta, I don't know how long you lived there. You lived there a long time as well, longer than that. Yeah. That Skid Row expanded into all of LA, basically. Yeah. I mean, this is like, and when I got there, it wasn't forever that bad. Growing. Now it's just lost. Yeah.
It's forever growing. It's forever expanding. I mean, we went to a protest for housing, and they started in, Skid Row, and it was just, it's sad. It really is, because it's just it's forever expanding. And these, I hate to get into that whole argument. They are Democratic areas, whatnot. This is a national problem. Mm-hmm. People are almost one paycheck away from being out in the cold and stuff. I'm not saying that these Democrats have done a good job by any means. No, but this is a national problem. There's no manufacturing here. There's no jobs, and this is only going to get worse. And you can just see this is like a normal thing. And then, Frisco, we've been to Frisco before. We've seen how awful it is over there. San Diego has its own problem. I mean, California has 20% of the homeless in its own state. And yet you want us to believe that a Congress that has a 21% approval rating, if not lower, that they keep reelecting Nancy Pelosi by an 80% margin. All right. But if that's what you want to believe, that's on you, pal, and stuff. But it is a very sad situation. It is a common situation. It's no joke to us. We've seen it for so long. So, yeah, it does.
And a lot of these people work. Yeah. A lot of these people work. And it's not, you're going to tell me all these people are lazy? Yeah. All of them are lazy. All of them are drug addicts. All of them. No, guys. I mean, it's just statistically impossible, right? So while, of course, we're focused on Haiti and on Iran and bringing democracy to Iranian women's rights, right? Just like we did to Afghani women's rights. Yeah. And so while we're so focused on that and giving billions to Zelensky's coke habit, like, this is what the people of Haiti are now our next target, because this is who it ends up affecting, right? Because Americans, you're not seeing any money from all of this warmongering anymore. I think at one point you were, and I mentioned that in that tweet, that at one point the United States was getting some, the people, right, were getting some sort of benefit No more. All the benefit is going to the top. So here's gritty is the way. The Haitian people are demanding an end to U.S.-backed regime. Instead of accepting the will of the people, the U.S. is planning an invasion of Haiti. And it says U.S.-backed sending international forces to Haiti, draft proposal says. So United States doesn't respect anybody's national sovereignty. And yet they're going to this war with proxy war with Russia to say that they're trying to protect Ukraine from an invading super empire power like evil Russia. My
Putin.
My lover Putin.
Evil bastard, you. Fam, they used to call me Joey. Joey. Holler it, Joey. Holler it. Fam, here's Joe a long time ago. If Haiti were to quietly sink into the Caribbean, it wouldn't matter to U.S. interest. I mean, he was speaking truthfully.
Editor of a paper in the Delaware Valley asked their reporters to come down and talk to me and said, why is Biden so concerned about Bosnia and not about Haiti? Is it because blacks are involved in Haiti? Blacks are what at stake in Haiti, and in Bosnia, they are European whites. There is major arsenals of nuclear weapons where they have long histories of national wars, where ethnicity dominates. That is a phenomenal potential consequence of the United States. If Haiti, a god-awful thing to say, if Haiti just quietly sunk into the Caribbean or rose up 300 feet, it wouldn't matter a whole lot in terms of our interest.
The world and
at least Joe Biden was honest then, fam.
He was.
I gotta give it to him.
He was honest there, fam. You can't be can't be mad.
Oh God, guys, that guy's our president. You know, people were so appalled with Trump, and I'm over here like, Jesus Christ, this guy is our president. This guy that is creepy, that has credible sexual assault accusations, right, from multiple women and all these videos, and his daughter. I just can't. And that's just on that end. Politically, what he's done.
Yeah, he was doing it the other day. There was a Secret Service guy freaking the frig out as this dude was just smiling and watching. And Joe Biden's putting his hands on a young girl, looks like 14, 13 years old or whatever, maybe 15 at most. No serious guys till you're 30. And he's breathing down her neck. It's like he cannot help himself, fam.
So, fam, and I had to bring this up because here I am, being accused of being a state propagandist, even by people we know. People that are our friends are like, well, she can't be non-biased because she works for RT and blah, blah, blah. First of all, guys, when I do corresponding, when I write these packages, I write them. And if I don't agree with something, I don't have to say it. So for people saying that, I'm changing, we've had the same point of view on Russia, Ukraine for a long time. And Burisma is one thing we talked about way before the Republicans talked about it, to try to sink Joe Biden. Because this is just, Pasta was very keen on this subject early on because he watched RT. So so this is like nothing, this is like ridiculousness now. Prove to me that I have changed my politics. If anything, my politics is far to the left of any Russian, because there's there are a lot of the people that work at RT you have anybody from the left to the right. There are people on the right, there are people on the left that work for RT. That's what I love about it, because it's not this one echo chamber of people. Like you have different points of view there, and that's what I like about it. But I said weird that the U.S.
Can I do my Lionel imitation right now that we're talking about conservatives on RT?
Yes.
I can't. But I wanted to do something magnificent, right? Something extraordinary that really gets you in the mood when you want to look at news outlets that are conservative and democratic. You got to go to RT. Sorry, I know that wasn't the best, but
no, it's true. Peter Lavelle says he's a conservative, but I have a lot of agreements with Peter Lavelle.
There's several conservatives over there. There's more conservative. I mean, it's a balance, and it's not like establishment conservatives. It's real conservatives and stuff, and with people you can talk to across the board. I mean, there's just Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's always been we've always felt that way about it. And it wasn't just those people that we like to watch. It was the people who had a history of being somewhere else and ended up there, like the Chris Hedges, the Larry Kings. I mean, these guys were on different networks for a long time, and they ended up on RT because they had more freedom to say what they wanted to say at RT than anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know, and nobody even reached out to ask you if you've ever been asked to censor yourself, if you've ever been asked to push certain propaganda you don't like. I mean, nobody's ever even reached out to you. They're just making assumptions, and it's so dangerous to do reporting as if it's true based on assumptions. You know, I mean, I know the boys over at the Vanguard want to say because of their friend Tyler Ventura that it's a situation where you can't say what you want to say, that it is controlled opposition. No, I mean, every person is treated differently. Every person has a say so. And a lot of other people do have feelings, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they weren't asked to come back or be part of the team in Moscow. Maybe when RT America was folded up, they decided to move on with some people the way some people decided to move on with them. That creates tension. That creates, aggravation that maybe be upset at that company. Who knows? But I haven't heard anything officially when people have come out and said, no, RT America forced me to say this and I had to say that and I couldn't say these things. And if that was the case, we would be saying something about it.
It just comes from this moral superiority of, I can't be a part of any war, blah, blah, blah. So I can't be, in this country because this country is engaging in what they do as a war.
I think it's more than that. For the people, for the boys at the Vanguard, I think it's more like they want to be involved. Well, they want to get a job in the mainstream media. They just assume that you couldn't make it here in the mainstream media as if you would ever take a job. Really, to tell you the truth, they're projecting because that's what they want. So they talk a narrative that will allow them to get a job at the Hill, that will allow them to get a job somewhere, Mint Press or one of these kind of like, more leftist kind of areas.
But Mint Press is like wouldn't ever hire them.
So yeah, I don't think Mint Press would either, but I mean.
And they're not mainstream media.
They're not mainstream media, but they're definitely the next stepping stone from one of those guys up. You know what I'm saying? It's like a stepping stone, I think.
Oh, well, like a better media. Yeah, but they're not. They're not. Yeah. I mean, you're not comparing them to like CNN, is what I'm saying. That's what
eventually they'll they can get there.
Mint Press? I don't think so.
No. I'm talking about the boys at. I should have threw Mint Press in that. Let me move out to the side and leave Mint Press out of there. Leave Mint Press to be its own thing. I still don't determine. I still don't think Mint Press is like Press TV or RT. I don't think they're on that.
Oh no, they're more independent. Like
they are independent.
They're not like state affiliated, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they're not. There would be a stepping stone for the Vanguard. I don't know if the Vanguard.
I don't think. I think that's an insult to Mint Press.
It's probably.
I don't think they would ever. Yeah, I actually want somebody from Mint Press on. Well, we just had Dan Cohen on, but about Iran because they've actually covered the situation really well. Because you have like a bunch of useful idiots. Well, that's the name of the podcast, right? Pushing like this Western-backed propaganda on their latest video. And Mint Press has covered Iran really well. Actually gone through, the right way as to having people on that actually know what the hell they're talking about. And I think even Max Blumenthal had somebody on Iran that talking about how this is just it's another way to get a color revolution in Iran, right? But most Western podcasters and on YouTube and stuff have been covering Iran in a very negative way. And it's just really sad that I've only seen Mint Press, Press TV, of course, and Max Blumenthal actually have people worth to talk about the discussion. And it just irritates me when people talk about things on the Western left without knowing anything about the situation. And they bring on people who, of course, are part of the liberal side that are trying to formulate this whole idea. I'm not saying I agree with Iran's politics, but that's Iran's politics. That's for them to decide. I go back to this over and over again. It's not for us to say what their rights should be. And again, Iran has had issues because of U.S. intervention. So you can't separate the two and then come and say, well, actually, women want this and that. It's not your fucking job.
Yeah.
So
especially that was like the CIA's first fucking coup and whatnot. I mean, just
but
Mossadegh, and you go all the way back there. It's like we have no right to say anything. Once again, like you said, it's their politics.
And sorry, I didn't get to read the thing, but it doesn't matter. I just wanted to point that out, that Ukraine, the tweet that I didn't get to read.
Oh, my bad. Do you want me to go back or?
Yeah, I just want to kind of talk about it because the point of the tweet was to show the hypocrisy of so many people when the United States and these liberals, right? These Western liberals have put Ukrainian flags all over their fucking bios on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and they're so upset about what's going on in Ukraine and how the evil Russians are invading, and they're going after them, and they're like, oh my God, blah blah blah, the poor Ukrainians, and Putin is evil, and all this shit. But whenever it happens to somebody that they don't give two shits about, that the United States allows itself to just walk all over, even though Haitians are some of the strongest, most, they have like these movements that are anti-Western. They haven't been told, the liberals and the people who watch mainstream media and the people who don't pay attention to politics, since they're not told to actually care about Haiti, they're not going to put any fucking Haitian flags on their bios. They're not going to cry about how Haitian lives are being destroyed and how their houses are destroyed and how their entire world has been destroyed for fucking decades and decades and decades by US intervention, because they weren't told to care about it. And that's what hurts them the most. And I went on Instagram and I said something, and I had so many comments from people just being so upset that I actually said something, because Instagram is a place where I don't tend to post very much because it's just so many shit libs on there. And many of them, I went to school with or whatever, or they follow me because of my fucking pictures. And it's just like, oh, you want me to piss you off? I'm going to fucking talk about Haiti and say something about your hypocrisy on Ukraine, because a lot of the millennial liberals don't pay attention to shit. And they just are in their little world, and they don't give two fucks about Ukraine. They're just told to put a little fucking flag about Ukraine. And where these people live too? In California, in Los Angeles, where all the fucking Bernie supporters that we knew went on and decided that they were going to put a Ukrainian flag when they've never talked about Ukraine in their freaking life. They couldn't even point it out on a map. And yet they were like, we stand with Ukraine. We stand with Ukraine. They know next to nothing about the foreign policy or what went on in 2014 with the Maidan revolution. They don't know any of that stuff, and they don't care to know. They just want to virtue signal about how morally good they feel, that they support Ukraine against the evil Russian aggressor, not knowing that these are the same NATO talking points that they're regurgitating from people like Bernie Sanders, who has been regurgitating those same exact talking points, and of course people like AOC and the Squad, who have voted to fund Nazis and paramilitary fascists in Ukraine while complaining about getting almost killed by Trump supporters wearing like ridiculous outfits. Come on. Like, I just can't. Anyway, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Fam, what do you talk about? You're done. You got to keep going. It was awesome. It's the same kind of thing. People that also too, they went and they did this out of the gate. They did this fast. And a lot of people followed in line. That's why you get a certain guy out there, like a certain activist, not mentioning any names. I'm just going to say his initials are CM. And then he's going, I stand with Ukraine. And you got all the sheep following behind them. Same thing with the COVID narrative too, right? They do all this stuff, all these people that they fucking were fighting, all these lobbyists for years. Now they're going to think they're, somehow benevolent, and they're going to be nice. And, therefore it's about science and public health. Now you follow that kind of thing, that sheep. And now what are they doing? Most of them, they're still doubling down on stupid. They're still standing by Ukraine. They're still saying Putin, 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 Putin. I mean, a little research, but these are the people who are leading that movement. And there's a reason why they are leading that movement, because unfortunately the elites have found a way to find the progressives who are dumb, that don't know shit, that don't think with any nuance. They're just, everything's surface level, everything is emotional, it's reactionary, and they go with it. And when they're wrong, they stay wrong, fam. I saw somebody with a thumbnail that says going over COVID stuff now, and they're still doubling down on stupid. No matter what, they're doubling down on stupid. They had a study out of Ireland showing some that, as far as children, how their speech is compared to pre-pandemic then to post-pandemic. And, during the pandemic with these lockdowns and stuff, So many people, even Leanna Wen had to come out and admit that the mask and the lockdowns had effects, right? They want to double down on stupid. They want more of the same bullshit. In other words, they're Walker Bragging the situation, say they didn't do enough last time. They didn't lock down enough.
Forgot about that guy.
It's just beyond ridiculous. We have more Danny Shaw because that's our homeboy. Love you, D. Shaw. Get your internet
This
fixed.
is the fifth foreign.
Yeah.
This is the fifth foreign occupation of Haiti in the last century.
Fifth.
Where is the international outcry? Danny, I feel you, man. Like, what the hell?
Love you, Danny. D. Shaw, baby. I'm going to mute me up first. Guys, do us a favor. Like, share, subscribe. You know what to do.
Sí, primeramente creo que es importante que un público
Porque has estado allá también.
Estuve en Haití, pasé muchos meses el año pasado en la rebelión. Esta rebelión que estamos viendo ahora, o sea, crisis, rebelión no es crisis, insurrección social no es crisis. Es una crisis de nuevo de injerencia extranjera en los asuntos domésticos de Haití. Ahora desde la Organización de Estados Americanos, con Luis Almagro, desde las Naciones Unidas y desde el gobierno gringo, se están planteando una nueva intervención, una nueva invasión de Haití. Sería la quinta intervención y ocupación de Haití en el último siglo, que sería un ultraje a la dignidad del pueblo haitiano y su soberanía. La situación es muy compleja allá en Haití. Sí hay bandas, son bandas paramilitares, pero históricamente ha sido el gobierno norteamericano que ha dado armas y finanzas a esas bandas paramilitares. Entonces, ¿cómo viene ahora Biden? ¿Cómo viene ahora el Pentágono a hablar de resolver esa crisis en Haití? Cuando yo creo sinceramente, de un punto de vista geopolítico y histórico, los principales culpables de lo que pasa en Haití ha sido los ejércitos norteamericanos, canadienses. 30,000 soldados brasileños ocuparon a Haití. Y bueno, yo fui testigo ya en Haití de violencia en los barrios populares de Haití, donde había grandes movilizaciones contra la ocupación, contra la injerencia en su territorio. Y estos soldados extranjeros cometieron masacres en Fort Nacional, en Cité Soleil. Yo conozco bien el terreno allá y el pueblo haitiano está reclamando de nuevo. Su deseo es muy sencillo: déjenos en paz. Nosotros mismos podemos gobernarnos. Allá se habla de la troika de maldad, los Estados Unidos, Canadá y Francia, los dos poderes más neocoloniales en Haití.
Fam, that was lit. That was just fucking awesome. Talking about, yeah, of course there's paramilitary gangs right now because that's what they're leaning on, fam. That's the talking point. That works with the conservative crowd. That manufactures consent. G13, these gangs, that's what they manufacture consent for Trump to do those actions with. And that's what they were leaning on right now with the Biden administration, saying, listen, we have to intervene. If we don't intervene, these gangs in Haiti will take over. So we have to go in there, stop it, calm everything down until they can pick their own leader again. But like Danny said, traditionally, historically, and this is something we talked about the other day with Vanessa Beeley, is that the United States has always armed the crazies. And in Haiti, it's not any different. They've always armed the people who've thrown oppression and kept the country in chaos for so long in Haiti. And they're doing the same thing now. So the best thing that they can do, the real thing for us to do, the most righteous thing for us to do as Americans is demand that we keep hands off Haiti. That's it. Bottom line. Let them work this out. Let them figure this out right now. That's why I'm saying a plan of sovereignty through free and fair, transparent elections to pick the rightful ruler, and which will be best for the Haitian people, only decided by the Haitian people, is what's needed right now. Not us getting involved again, fam.
It's not rocket science, guys. They just want to make their own decisions as a country. They don't want, like, I mean, that's not that hard to ask for, but of course the United States isn't allowing that. And that's what, Danny was saying, how like the United States is just constantly, the reason Haiti is in that situation is because they've been invading. The United States has been interfering for 100 years. I mean, this is for a long time. Yeah. So again, you want to talk about the gangsters and then the mafias and the crime. Well, you better look at the United States for that. It's no longer a valid argument especially because if you think that the United States cares about gangs in Haiti, what about the crime in the United States? What about, you know, the housing crisis? What about everything, literally everything else that's happening in the United States? They don't, like, if you think the government cares about Haitians, guys, Joe Biden told you a long time ago that they didn't.
Haiti can
So
sink to the bottom of the ocean. Nobody would give a goddamn care about it, and he's being honest about it. But what they're lying to you about is the fact is that we've had our hands in it for a long time. There's a reason why. Haiti is the Caribbean Ukraine. There's a lot of corruption going on there. The Clinton Foundation is run through there. There's been talks of money laundering through private enterprise, through contractors that never do the jobs and never help with the infrastructure. Danny said it in a show before, not on this particular one, which he just gave this awesome example too as well, about allowing the Haitian people to get their own sovereignty, to obtain their own sovereignty. Who's involved? It's always France, Canada, United States. They're doing it again with their hands on. It's one of the richest countries. It has resources there. It could be a haven for tourism, fam. If they would allow these people to thrive, it could just be so beautiful, so much, and the Haitian people can stand on their own, but yet they are stripped, exploited to the T's. Here's the video we were talking about before, fam, of Haitian protesters marching with Russian flags, distrustful, exploited and occupied by the international community so many times. They urged China and Russia to block in the UNSC and any new effort to reinvade and reoccupy their homeland of Haiti. And here it is, fam. I'm going to mute us real quick just so I won't echo like crazy. I apologize.
So I think that yes, Russia is busy, China is busy, and whatever. You know, I said I hope they stand with Haiti. They might abstain, is what the word is on the street. They might abstain. They're not going to vote against. You know, they're not going to stand with the UN and against Haiti, but they might abstain. But I think that they should absolutely stand with Haiti.
They should stand with Haiti. They should stand with Haiti. This is your boy Mick Wallace, fam. We met Mick where we were in Nicaragua. A little interview on Rokfin. If you want to go see Pasta, interview Mick Wallace. He did not have sleeves on his shirt. He was very consistent in his look, and that's why I was very happy. Claire could not make it. She had a family situation, Mick had said, but we got to meet Mick Wallace. And fam, he says, what right, okay, have the U.S. and allies got to interfere in Haiti? ? The defiance of the Haitian people has been met with 200 years of imperialist efforts to keep them on their knees and then shedding crocodile tears at the result of instability. Will the EU support this abuse of sovereignty? Fam, it's the same old story. I'm going to mute us first, guys. Thank you so much.
Stop punishing Haiti for the crime of being the first black majority nation to successfully carry out an anti-colonial revolution when they kicked out the French in 1804. Since then, the US and France have colluded to kill at least 5 sitting presidents and engineered countless coups. The reversal of the Aristide coup by the Haitian people was met with crushing neoliberal reforms forced by the Clinton regime. A second coup against Aristide in 2004 by the French and Americans ushered in pro-West leadership that ensured no nation building would be carried out, no investment in infrastructure that might help Haiti to prepare for earthquakes and the ravages of global warming. The successful defiance of the Haitian people has been met with 200 years of imperialists attempting to keep them on their knees and then shedding crocodile tears at the resulting instability. I'd like to know, what right have we got to be interfering in this sovereign nation? Terrorism has never stopped punishing Haiti.
Fam, Mick is Bay. Sorry.
Fam, am I frozen?
I don't know. Maybe in time. There you are. Let me say, hey, fam, you're frozen in time.
Am I frozen?
You're frozen.
That's weird.
Hold on, fam. Let me get you. You went away. away. Fam went away, guys. So that was Mick Wallace on the floor. I'm gonna queue up the next video real quick right here. It is Claire Daly, guys. Do us a favor, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Fee will be back with us shortly. When she comes back, hopefully she will not be frozen. We're talking about what's going on with Haiti. We're just playing a lot of what Danny Shaw was saying. We had on Dan Cohen earlier in the week, and Dan had talked about what was going to happen in Haiti. All of it has come true. Fam, you're not frozen anymore. That's really good.
No, but, I'm here. That was weird. I think that was deep state because I'm directly connected to the internet, so that never happens.
Yeah. Claire Daly said, "Can I do it my Claire Daly voice?" Haiti was a beacon of light to the world, a challenge to the dread logic of the capital and empire. For this, it was punished with foreign interference, coups, invasions, occupations, and assassinations. To help Haitians stop meddling and stand up to the world's bully, the United States. How do you like that, fam?
Could be better, but fam, good effort.
All right, I'm going to mute it and play us in there. Okay.
Haiti is the site of the first and only successful slave revolution in history. Haitians won their independence from France in 1804 and immediately abolished slavery, becoming the first place in the world to do so. It was also the first state to outlaw racism in its constitution. Haiti was a beacon of light for the world, and it was punished for it. It was punished over and over again by France, by the US, through a series of coups, invasions, occupations, assassinations, through relentless meddling and crushing debt. They were determined that this beacon of freedom would be extinguished because it presented a bold challenge to the dread logic of capital and empire. But the Haitian people kept fighting through. Theirs is a light that never goes out. And so it's still being punished. The meddling goes on. If Haiti is a mess, and it is, then Europe and the US are to blame. If we want to support the Haitian people, and we should, we'll stand up to the US, the world's bully, tell them to get out of Haiti and get out of it ourselves.
Fam, do you think Claire knows about me? Fam, unmute yourself.
God, I'm muted.
I can't do that.
I said, fam, I love you, but I think Claire's out of your league, fam. I'm sorry.
What are you talking about? Claire is not out of my league. I can cook Italian.
Guys, you can, and that would be a great. It would be a great pairing, but I don't know, fam. I think I'm sorry.
She's amazing, though. She's amazing.
She is amazing. Yes.
Fam, the last clip we have over here, I think we played it before. Someone who's been the Developed Nation, the Benny Johnson one, where he's running around. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Fam.
No. We talked about it, guys. You know, this is my issue when we talk about Haiti, when we talk about the global South, when we talk about third world nations. Like they're the reason they're there is because of U.S. intervention. Haiti is the prime example, as Claire mentioned. And Mick Wallace mentioned 200 years of just intervention. If it wasn't by the United States, it was by France before that. You know, you have a country that was the only successful slave rebellion. When I asked Dan why are they so focused on this little half island, he said, well, you know, it's Haiti's an example for the rest. If they can crush Haiti, you know, it really, Haiti can't become another Cuba, right? And so they don't want that to spread. And it's also, of course, resources, and it's also all these other things. But I mean, I think there's also that symbolism with Haiti. So, yes,